Okay, welcome, Pretty Much Experts. I'm Robert John Patterson, live from Romania. This is my brother Mike.
Hi.
My other brother Skylar.
Oh, hey.
And this week we're going to talk about witches, because it's Halloween month. Witches.
Keeping it spooky.
Dig through the ditches.
Find you some witches.
So, you guys, I trust, did a lot of research and homework.
Zero.
Yeah.
Like,
Did a little bit.
is there less than zero?
I started a documentary on witches on YouTube, and then in the sidebar there was like a documentary for the history of syphilis, and I switched over real quick.
Went down that dirty rabbit hole.
Way more interesting.
Yeah, I say I did less than zero research because I didn't look into anything, and I bonked my head a bunch in the last couple days. So I feel like that brings you down below zero.
It knocks a few of those witch stories out.
Yeah, they're gone.
I guess at least plan B is if we run out of witch stories, you can just talk about syphilis.
It was
And it can
really
be, like,
interesting.
We can talk about both.
Let's start there. I say we
Let's start there.
All right.
So I don't know nothing about syphilis, thankfully.
Yeah.
But there was... Okay, so this documentary I was watching goes into some of the, like, side effects, or I guess how you die of it. And, like, all your bones kind of rot. And, like, your forehead falls apart.
Why your forehead, not the rest of
like,
your
all
head?
your bones just, like, break apart. And, like, they, flinter, that's a good word. They, like, get all, like, frayy. Like the end of a shoelace. Like, that's what all the bones look like. And there's all these, like... So, the reason that this was so interesting, because they found this, like, a priest grave.
Okay.
In somewhere, Europe somewhere.
Full of syphilis.
All the skeletons of these priests all had the, like, forehead, like, pox. Like, all these, like, mass priest graves, like, full of, like, syphilis-filled priests.
I thought priests are supposed to be celibate.
I think that's the point. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, these
So
fucking...
are they just, like, licking
like-
Is there more than
things, or...
is it more than one way to get syphilis, or is it just
STD.
that's it? Wow.
And, you know,
Penis,
I didn't know
vagina
about
stuff.
this either, but
Penis
apparently
butt stuff.
this was the quid pro quo with the
Don't even.
Native
Don't
Americans, that they gave the first landers syphilis. Like, Columbus brought a syphilis-filled boat back to Europe, and it spread through Europe like the plague.
Yeah.
Like, that was the smallpox trade-off.
That's the smallpox trade-off, right? Like, both of the immune systems for each culture were not up to date on the diseases that each other had. So, yeah, you're totally... That's
like,
crazy.
Did they tell you when were they able to start treating it? Was that like 1800s or?
Yeah, I don't think you die from it anymore, but it's still, like, super bad if you get it.
Isn't it like it was one of those penicillin things? Like,
I didn't watch the whole documentary.
fair enough. Got the gist of it.
I got the gist.
The gist, but I thought it was one of those, like, penicillin deals. Like, once we discovered penicillin, it was because didn't Capone die of syphilis? Al Capone?
Yeah.
Or was that chlamydia?
No, I don't think you can... It must be syphilis. I feel like a lot of people died of a lot of stuff before, like, doctors figured shit out in, like, the 1890s. And then basic stuff was like, oh, yeah, you just do this.
Yeah. It's just infection or...
bullet named syphilis.
But, yeah, serious. Mass priest grave.
The Civil War.
Yeah.
But,
so, I mean, we should do a week on STDs. I mean, that's a hot topic, hot itchy topic.
It could be a forehead caving in topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind blowing.
I had no idea. Literally, mind blown.
I had no idea that it, like, wreaks such havoc. I was listening to a podcast, like, years and years ago, about rabies. I think it was like a Radiolab podcast. And it was kind of in the same light where I just found out all this, like, you know, crazy information about rabies I had no idea about. Like they're like a symptom of rabies, or like I guess like the onset of, to death, because you can't cure it. It's incurable. There's like, I guess there's medication to prolong it, but like prolong your inevitable death. But yeah, like you can't. It's incurable. But one of the side effects to contracting rabies is a unnatural or something fear of water. Like you are completely afraid of water. You can't ingest water. You like puke it back up when you try to, and so you dehydrate. And another side effect of rabies is uncontrollable ejaculation. So and voiding your bowels and stuff like that. Wow. So like,
fuck, so you're just checked out.
You can't you can't drink any fluids. You can't drink any water, and you're just fucking everything's coming out of you until you die. Your organs shut down and you die.
Literally coming and going.
Literally coming and
I remember like always thinking of rabies as like a joke disease, like you just get it in cartoons and it's really funny. And then when I learned more about it, how serious it is, and like, there's no cure, like you will die 100%. It's like, wow, that's fucking terrifying.
It's wild. It's still to this day.
Yeah, there's nothing. I heard of one case where like a 12-year-old girl survived, and they basically like just put her in a medically induced coma for like a month because like the way that rabies is just like this huge infection flare up that gets so hot that you like cook. Yeah. So they just like kept her alive long enough like in a coma and doing round the clock that her body like naturally fought off the infection or fought off the disease.
Holy shit.
But like there's no way you could do that in any other situation other than being in an ICU, plugged into every possible machine. Like they just did whatever they could to like keep her heart beating, and it took like a month to like break the fever.
Holy.
But
and she's also young and untainted too.
But
I
wouldn't say she's untainted. I'm pretty sure she has some like serious like health issues.
Well, no, I mean like
done.
prior.
Like she's got some ticks now.
Yeah, but I mean prior to the rabies.
Talk.
Prior to the rabies, she may have been untainted.
Yeah,
so
she's
no
like
cure.
No cure.
No cure.
You can get one of the like vaccines or whatever, but they don't last forever.
No, like
you got to keep getting them every now and then. Yeah. And after some wild animal bites you, you're supposed to get one right away, because then there might be enough time for the vaccine to take control, and it takes like a month for the rabies to like kick in. So you could like cut it off right away. Oh, wow. But
you'd think like where we grew up in the world that we would have learned a little more about this. Like how many fucking squirrels were in our town? Like our town was just lit. There's more squirrels than people.
Yeah.
Yep. That's true.
You know?
Yeah. Wow. So you could always just take the old Yeller route out.
Yeah. Bullet to the brain.
Get the old Yeller shot, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a sad
I used to
movie.
love that movie.
So did I.
That was like one of the... It was E.T., Old Yeller, and I had another VHS, those 3 VHSs, like when I was a kid.
That's a good collection.
Yeah. Start of a good collection, yeah.
I could honestly say I don't think I've seen E.T. all the way through.
Wow. Yeah, I'm sure I did when I was a child.
I feel like I always turned it off. It gets boring in the middle.
Yeah.
I was like too young for it when it was new, and then by the time like I was probably of the right age, I just thought that movie was old and boring. You know, by the time I'm like 9, I'm like, that movie. Like,
this movie's old and boring.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
What are these guys?
Billy Madison. Yeah. I got Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Give me
blood
a
code with the blood code.
So should we bring it back around? Do we got a
witches?
Well, the real blood code.
Yeah, the real blood code.
Yeah, witches. I don't know. I watched some stuff. I saw some cool things. Heard some shit about. Like I guess like when we first thought about this, it was like we'll do the Salem witch trials.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I felt like that was like the end of it all, you know? Like that was just the end surface of the witch trials. Like I got a little deeper. I got into the English witch trials.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool. Like,
does that predate Salem witch trials?
Yeah, like Salem was like 1693. 1692.
Okay.
And I believe the English had the same situation in like 1640s, the 1645 or so. It was interesting. It was a story about I think his name was King James. He was like the king of Scotland, and he was supposed to marry a Swedish princess from Sweden, and so he sent like a fleet of ships to go pick her up. And when on the way back, they encountered like this giant storm, and a ship got sunk, and her boat had to turn around and go back, right? And him being the noble king that he was of Scotland, he was like, I'm just gonna go get her. Like, I'll go to Sweden. And when he went to Sweden to like pick her up, they had brought in a woman that they arrested for saying that she had done witchcraft, like put a curse on the princess's fleet to have a storm kind of thing. And like, he didn't believe it, didn't buy it, and went back
sounds
to
like total bullshit.
Yeah, she just
kind of
didn't want to
bullshit.
come.
Yeah, but then like when he went back to Scotland, that was like, he brought that tradition. He ended up like kind of coming around, I guess, on it, and like came back, and basically it all kind of started in Scotland. Like, they were very much like into the finding the witches and stuff, right? And then I don't know how like the lineage worked, but either way, Queen Elizabeth I died, and he ended up then becoming the King of England after like having like a full on like reign of Scotland, and had witchcraft had already, I don't want to say he brought witchcraft, but it was more the like, this is a possibility kind of thing. He actually then found people in Scotland that also confessed to the same crime of like, I cursed you and wished a storm on that fleet, and it came true, it just didn't, didn't kill you, I guess. And so he was like all about hanging the witches, and then ended up becoming the King of England and brought that tradition with him, and was like, it was really interesting. And then it just like spread, like it does,
like syphilis.
Like syphilis. Faster than syphilis. Yeah. And another thing that I then, like, everything I read was about they would just hang the witches.
Yeah.
But like, you always hear about them burning at the stake, but that was like a Spanish thing. That was like Spanish Civil War. And that 150 years before the Salem witch trials, England had banned burning witches. So like, none of the women or men in the Salem witch trials were burned at the stake. They were all just hung.
There was one dude in Salem got crushed with rocks.
Yes.
I saw that.
It was torture.
They stoned him the slow way to death.
Huh. So in that day and age, was it predominantly women? It was, right?
Yes. Yeah. In England, it was really bad. There was this dude, I think his name was Matthew Howling. Basically, it like kind of started small. I can't remember the whole thing, but like, basically someone got a warrant to go look for witches, and this Matthew Howling guy like jumped on board, and basically was like responsible for like at least 300 women dying. Like, he would just go into towns, like, it was real bad, like just kicking down doors and accusing everyone of witches, it sounded like, right? And then he died of tuberculosis. Yeah,
good.
One of those other diseases that nobody can fucking survive at that
wrap
time.
their head around.
Yeah,
I
but
think
it went on to say that like tens of thousands of women died in England or like the United Kingdom during the, like, honestly, it was like a 4 or 5 year period. Like, it was pretty crazy.
Holy shit, tens of thousands in that period.
That's all it ever said. Like, I don't think there's a real number, because they just didn't really give a fuck after that. Yeah. It's like, one of the things about the Salem witch trial story is that I found was that a lot of it was very detailed. Like, it was almost like straight up like court, like.
Well, they had trials. That's in the name of it.
Yeah. Right, so it was like they had wrote all it down, so like they know what happened. Yeah. But then when you really look, they never recorded the dates of the time, like the dates when they actually killed or hung the people in Salem, and then buried them in like shallow graves. So it was kind of just like full on like, not only are you guilty, but we just think you're garbage, like you're Satan worshippers.
As
right?
far
like,
as I know, too, they didn't disclose where the graves were. So that's part of, like, I was looking at, like, touristy junk, and there's, like, the spot where the hanging gallows were, like, that's kind of a place, but there's a tree there now. Obviously not the tree they hung people on. They had gallows, but they call it, like, oh, that's the hanging tree.
Oh,
just because that's where the gallows were. But there's no, like, oh, this is the witch mass grave over here. Like, nobody knows. Like, there's some theories, like, it's likely, you know, within 500 yards of where they got hung, but not necessarily. The whole area is, like, built up now. There's, like, houses.
It's not like they're dragging up. Oh, okay. I was going to say, if they excavate the land, like, they
no
must have
one's
found
doing
something.
that.
No, I mean, like, if they're building in that area. Like, they must have come across something at some point.
Yeah.
But they're not dragging them fucking 3 towns over to bury them, right? Like,
but you never know. Like, if you think that's a fucking witch corpse, maybe you don't want that in your town.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe
That's
you
true,
do just fucking send it off to...
Send it.
Treat it like a Ouija board.
Yeah, put it on the back of a horse, slap the ass, and just let it go.
Yeah, let it go, yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, just bury it in your neighbor's front yard. Under the bush.
I
And
found
then you get burned. You get burned next week for that.
Something that I saw this week about the witch trials, which I found was really interesting. Like, a lot of the accusations were like land driven. Like, a family that had like significant means would get like accused, and then the way the courts would work that way, like, not only was like the witch hung and killed, but the family was fined. And in those days, if you didn't have a lot of money, like, your land got, you know, forfeited.
Seized.
So it was like this really weird, like, you could go conspiracy route, just organized
and then put it for auction.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, we want these farmhouses, so
Just a way to squeeze people out of their land.
Yeah. And these accusations went wild for months until, like, the governor's wife was accused, and then the governor, like, steps in and was like, okay, no more trials. Like, let's you know, nip this hysteria.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because like one of the I just watched before I came in here, I was doing a little cramming, and like it talked about, I thought it was kind of funny, it was like a Springfield Shelbyville like rivalry between Salem town and Salem village.
Oh yeah.
And like, so the town was like the town, and then the village was the village, but most of the accusations came out of the village, and the village was separated in an east and west, like the east side was the rich people and the west side was the farm folk.
Yeah.
And it was like majority of the people that were accused were from that farm hick side kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of adds some credence to what RJ's saying, that it was like kind of the, not even like the rich people, but it was like some of them, it was just like land based, right?
Yeah.
Like, I want your land, and the whole unbuilt up area where the people losing their land, right? And then it goes up for auction and the rich people would buy it.
Yeah, on the cheap.
Yeah.
Did you guys look into anything like modern day? Like, are there still, I don't know, are there still witches among us?
There's witches, but it's like bullshit, like any other religion.
Oh yeah.
Like, you go buy a book and you read some things.
There's
you get
like
the
modern equivalent now is
or...
like a Wiccan or something.
Oh yeah.
But that's not even that old. That's like a 1950s like British religion. Like, it's a fucking Scientology thing.
Yeah.
Like, when you are like old enough to know who fucking started it and why that person just wanted like a sex cult, like, it's not a religion. Like, why do you have all these goddamn rings on?
No, you gotta wait like 300 years.
Yeah.
And then they forget about the sex.
Yeah.
And you get
it becomes legit.
It's still in the cult.
Yeah, like, and even like a lot of it too, what I saw was it was like Christians, like, just, you know, how they like to push their faith on people. It was like the ultimate, that, like, to begin with, especially in like the English days, where it was like at one point, like, it was okay to practice paganism where you didn't worship Jesus, you just worshipped all the old gods. But then it slowly kind of became outlawed. And then, like, one of the kings, like King Henry or Henry VIII or whatever, like, full on aligned himself with one of, like, with Christianity. So then it was like, if you oppose Christianity, you oppose the crown.
You're
so
against the king.
It's treason. So it was like then became an execution. Yeah, like it was law basically, right? And
yeah.
So like you weren't allowed to practice these things back then. But now people do that shit. Like there's like Satanists and pagans and Wiccans.
I guess that's the modern day equivalent, and they kind of just blend in or hide in the shadows and blend in as they need to, right?
Yeah, I think they wear the flesh of other people on their face.
Yeah,
that's how they do it.
Yeah.
I'd say like a true testament to like a real witch. Like if you legit have the Eye of Newt, if you have an Eye of Newt, you're a legit witch. I don't care what time, place, or anything else that's going on with you. If you can find out how to get an Eye of Newt,
I'm sure you could go to like Chinatown and get some Eye of Newt.
Yeah, but are you doing it? I've never known anyone.
No, I don't know where Chinatown is.
Yeah. I don't even know what a newt looks like. Is it like a salamander?
I think so. Stubbier.
It's just a little dude.
How do you get those little eyes out of there? And why the fucking eye?
I think that's just from that. I'm assuming that like the witches in that Shakespeare play. What's that one? Macbeth. In the beginning, I think in the beginning of Macbeth, there's like these 3 witches that are like making a spell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That like double toil and trouble. Like I'm pretty sure that's all from Macbeth. Like that's all just like Shakespeare.
Really? I thought that was just a child's nursery.
I think it's all from the beginning of Macbeth. Like these 3 witches like predict the future.
Yeah.
They say shit like the king is like, "Oh, come read my fortune," and he says, and they tell him stuff like, "Oh, your kingdom will fall when the forest like approaches the walls." Like they give him all these like very vague fortunes, and then he's like, "Okay, so I'm gonna make it a rule that there can't be a tree within 200 yards of the wall, and therefore I'll be king forever." And then in the end, when like the people overthrow the castle, they like cover themselves in like bushes and shit, like ghillie suits, and sneak up, and it's like, oh, that's what the witches foretold, and that's something that he could never prevent. But anyway, I'm pretty sure in the beginning of that they do that whole like double toil and trouble, blah blah blah, and I think they say Eye of Newt in that. Like they're making a raven's egg and an eye of newt and a tail of squirrel.
Wow, Jesus! How many spells have you put on people?
I read that book one time.
Yeah, but so I don't know. Like the other thing, it was like I say, like the Salem stuff was very much just like this isolated Christian village, where like I guess it was not so much like a dictatorship of like what I say goes, but it was just like because of one verse in the Bible about not like living with a witch, the kind of thing. Like they just took it so literal that if there was witches, like they were getting rid of them. And
you kind of have to also think about those times when all the people were so powerless. Like if you're just a villager, you're a fucking nobody. So if you start like throwing around accusations and getting all this attention, like you could see like mainly it was like these 2 young girls accusing everybody in the Salem witch trial. Yeah. It's like I could see why 2 12-year-olds said something stupid, got a bunch of attention, and then just like, let's fucking keep the ball rolling. Like,
holy shit!
A month later, let's do this again, and then we get to be like on the newspaper and.
Yeah, for sure.
Huh.
But yeah, like, and even like the story I read or heard of, like of Titty Boo. Did you hear about her?
Titty Boo, no.
Sounds
Titty
sexy,
Boo.
though.
So no, it's the same story you're talking about, where it was like these like 2 or 3 little girls that were from like a predominant family, and they had like an Indian slave woman.
She was from like Barbados or something.
Yes. And she used to like. She would take care of them, like babysit them, and would tell them stories of the old country in Barbados. And she was into voodoo, so she like would show them weird voodoo things
and like dancing,
something
and stuff.
about dancing, and something about a lighting a candle or something in a glass, and it would show the face of like their future husbands, kind of thing. And like the little girls knew that it was wrong, but then like they were still into it, just like we'll keep secrets. but then they got like weird sicknesses that they couldn't explain, and like would, you know, like burst out into tongues and yell and throw things and like just throw little tantrums, but couldn't explain it. And then yeah, it all came out about Titty Boo, and they like she.
Oh, they executed her.
Like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, they didn't.
They didn't.
No, they didn't. No,
Okay.
they sold her back into slavery.
Oh.
And
just
just
as
put her
bad.
back into circulation, I guess. Like it's like she was the one that started it. Like she was everyone else that kind of got accused. There was this other girl. I think one of them was like Sarah Good and Sarah Short, I think, for the names. Like they're really basic, but
What'd you say? Sarah Good and Sarah Bad?
No.
yeah.
Sarah Short and Sarah Tall.
Yeah.
Sarah Good was definitely one of them. And I think it was Sandra Short, maybe like something stupid like that. And either way, those two girls totally denied it, and Titty Boo was just like, "No, they were there."
Titty Boo threw under the bus.
Yeah, she said, "I saw their names in the Book of the Devil, and there were 6 other names that I couldn't make out." And so they put her in jail.
The only word I can read is Sarah.
Sarah, yeah.
I saw 2 Sarahs and 6 other names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One was
Not
tall,
Sarah.
one was short.
It was a long name. It was a good name. But but that's what started then the conspiracy of like she said she saw 6 other names, who could they be? And it then spun out of control of just everybody got blamed, you know, and then eventually those 2 girls that said they didn't do it said they did do it, and that they knew the names. And then, like I say, like at one point it was like 50 people had been accused, I think. Like nuts.
It's nuts.
There was one dude that was like the minister, the old minister of the church that he no longer ran, where they were kind of like this all sprung up, I guess. He actually like stood up and was like, "No, this girl isn't a witch. Like, I know she's not." Which then led to him getting accused of being a witch, and he got sentenced to death. And on his when the any last words or whatever, he stood up and said the Lord's Prayer, like word for word, syllable for syllable, because at the time the law was that witches couldn't say prayers. That was like after they made their deal with the devil, they were no longer able to remember how prayers went, right? Like they lost,
and they
that
can't
ability.
be out in the rain and all that shit.
Yeah, exactly, right? Especially first rule, don't go in the rain.
He just did the prayer to shut them all up and then die.
Yeah, no, and like to prove to them that like this isn't right, and someone else in the crowd stood up and was just like basically then accused him of being the devil, or being like lectured by the devil at the time. Dictated is the word. Like the devil was whispering in his ears, like, say these words, kind of thing.
So it just sounds like everyone was making shit up.
Oh yeah,
it really was a lot. I think just accusing
just
other
scratching
people
and surviving.
Have you guys seen that semi-new witch movie called Witch, but it's spelled like VVITCH?
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie's awesome.
Is it 2 V's? I thought it was just a cool W.
No, it's like 2 V's.
Yeah.
And there's that one scene when they're like, all these like curses are falling on the family. They don't know what's going on. And then like, it's like, okay, it's bedtime. Kids, say your prayers. And then these 2 little twins are like, we can't remember our prayers. And they start like holding their stomachs, like they have stomach aches and like falling on the ground. And it's like the big reveal that the fucking 2 little kids are the goddamn witches.
Wow, spoiler alert.
Yeah, big spoiler. But it's awesome movie. Yeah. And there's like a black goat or something in their farm.
Black Phillip.
And they keep going. The 2 kids like keep going and talking to the goat, and they think it's just like, oh, kids playing with the goat. And then when you find out that the little kids don't remember their prayers and they have a tummy ache when it's prayer time every fucking night, you kind of like, oh shit, they're the devil. Yeah. Black Phillip.
Black Phillip.
The Black Phillip. Such a good movie.
Yeah, we watched that the other night. We watched Hereditary last night. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
I haven't.
No.
You check it out. It was weird.
Do you have any
It
big
was cool,
spoilers
but
to reveal on the podcast for
no,
anyone else that hasn't
too
seen
new.
it?
It's too new, and I don't fucking roll like that. I don't know.
Now you got standards all of a sudden.
Yeah, I don't be spoiling movies. TV shows, no problem. No, but
I'm hoping
Yeah,
to go
no,
see the Venom movie this week. With Tom Hardy.
don't waste your time.
Well,
Don't waste your
I
time.
want to see it just because I like
It's gonna be
Venom, but then
terrible.
I fucking
They
made
have that in Romania?
Yeah. Probably. I made a mistake though. I checked the fucking IMDb because I wanted to see who directed it. And there's like a huge fucking spoiler and it pissed me right off.
Oh.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Just like, why is that guy's name listed in the goddamn movie? Like, what the fuck?
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Where you can kind of see the big twist coming or something.
Well, I don't even know if it's be a twist, but like, there's no word of that. Anyway.
Anyways, fuck it.
Fuck it. I'll go see it
Witches.
anyway. Witches. Venom's a witch.
You want to know? Here's a hot take for you. What are you guys' thoughts on not stereotypes?
I don't want to be stereotyped.
What are your thoughts on like horoscopes?
Bullshit.
Bullshit. Yeah, total bullshit.
Is it witchcraft? It's kind of
Yeah.
witchcraft, right?
It's witchcraft.
Well, it's like astronomy, if anything.
Yeah. But so here's my hot take. Horoscopes are the world's oldest form of stereotypes.
Good,
Okay.
good take.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
still
before,
fucking
like-
prevail. Every time someone's like, "What's your sign?" and I tell them, they're like, "Oh yeah, totally." I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah. Fuck you. As like, it's just a way of like, yeah, like when
Yeah,
you
don't
sit
put me in
down,
that
they're
box.
like you talk to people, and they're just like, "What's your sign?" Like, "Oh, I'm this," and it's just like, "Oh my god, I knew it when I sat down the way you passed me that for."
That's when you
Totally.
leave. That's
Yeah,
when you
that-
get
yeah.
up and leave.
That's usually my
Oh, it's.
my exit of the
But so, like-
conversation.
Yeah, no
I just
kidding.
like feel like it's a way that it's like, oh, you were born in January, like.
All you.
Well, that
people-
means that you're this, and this. Like, I don't like you because you're a fucking May baby. A maybe.
You're stubborn, but
This,
sometimes you go with the flow. Also,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So generic and vague.
Yeah, so vague. It's like that
there
other
was- there-
douche.
We I used to live
John
live
Edwards.
like him. Yeah.
I felt like I couldn't leave that. Like I was like, I'll let you talk, but like, oh no, I gotta that other douche. Yeah, just leave it. John Edwards.
But I used to live in this old house in like the attic space, and there was like main floor, second floor. The people who lived on the main floor, super rad couple, and the woman had like this like fucking thicker than the Bible, right? Like huge book. It was kind of horoscope related, but it was like to the day and the year. So like you could flip to your year, to your month, to your day, and read it. And like it's the only time I've ever read anything that was like horoscope related where I was like, yeah, this pretty much does hit the nail on the head.
yeah.
And so I was like kind of like, whoa, like taken back by it. And then I just flipped like to some random page and read
Yeah.
it, and it was like pretty accurate. Flipped back to another page, read it, and it was like, okay, so it's all fucking bullshit. But like the first one I
vague.
read like had me convinced, like, holy fuck, like this,
Yeah.
you're stubborn and hot-headed
Yeah.
and whatever,
Oh.
ambitious and all the crap, you know. And it's like, yeah, but then you read the next one and it says all that shit. It's just said in a different way,
Yeah.
peppered in
Or just
spots.
different characteristics about you that weren't in the other one.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
a team player, but you can also be a leader when you need to be. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you're also a lone wolf.
You're
Yeah,
also a lone wolf. And a
Yeah.
pack animal.
It was interesting though. Like that book was like the only time that I read anything horoscope related where I didn't want to
Yeah.
like puke or barf. in
I
my
like to
mouth.
read them for like entertainment, but
Yeah.
people take that stuff seriously, and that's sad.
Way too serious. Or like when people tell you that like Mercury's in
Oh,
retrograde.
that doesn't even mean
I don't
anything.
even know what that. I don't know what that.
No,
means.
But it's an
I don't know what it
excuse,
is
good
either.
or bad, for everything over their summer.
Yeah, it's something
I
to
don't
do
know.
with like the tilt of Mercury. Like it's got a weird abnormal tilt and a orbit that when it's like on the other side of the sun, weird things happen on Earth.
Okay.
I don't know. I just know the Trailer Park Boys make fun of it, say that Mercury's in Gatorade. So, I don't know. The roommate sometimes hangs out with a lot of people that talk about Mercury being in retrograde, and I always laugh. Fucking
Yeah.
Gatorade.
I feel like I need to start bringing that up more often, just in day-to-day conversation.
Yeah.
Sprinkle it in.
Oh, I
see what
can't
kind of-
believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain
I wanted
the
to
most
hit that
insignificant
green light.
things.
My coffee
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
gets cold so fast when Mercury's in retrograde.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, I just missed that elevator. Yeah, because it's Mercury's in retrograde. Retrograde.
Fuck Obama.
Oh, fuck. Mercury's in retrograde. Just do what you want. It's like the purge. Mercury is in retrograde. Gonna kill you now. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah. So syphilis. Back to
Yeah,
syphilis.
Back to
back
syphilis.
to syphilis.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? This is the only thing that I really put any thought into when it comes to this topic this week. What do you think about the evolution of witches, as far as, you know, what you were talking about, like Salem Witch Trials? Everyone's a fucking witch that, like, owns a piece of property, or that has dark hair, or that, you know, like, who, like, because they want them to be a witch, that person's a witch. Just regular people. And then, you know, flash forward fucking 300 years to the 60s. And now, like, it's become kind of like pop culture, like Elvira, Bewitched, and like they're all
Sabrina.
Sabrina. Well, minus Sabrina, but like, you know,
Right,
like
Zelda.
Once it comes,
That bitch.
once it comes into like the light of pop culture, like they all start turning into like sexy creatures.
I think all
You know,
monsters eventually do that.
Get sexy.
I think in
Yeah,
like
like-
every form of entertainment, like the bad guy gets liked so much eventually that they're the hero. Like Darth Vader's cooler than Skywalker for sure. And even
Yeah.
all those old monsters, like vampires, are fucking cool, and they became like hot Twilight vampires. Like you just
Maybe
like
it's
the
a
bad guy
lore
so
thing.
much, eventually they're the hero.
The protagonist.
And it's like cool to be a fucking witch now. Like in the old days, like you get your fucking head chopped off for being a witch. And now it's just like Facebook, you know, religion.
Fucking Harry Potter.
Yeah. Harry Potter's the coolest witch.
Yeah. No, he's not. He's a wizard.
But like you don't have to hide it anymore, and the only people that will tell you that they're witches are people that are, you know, begging for attention.
Witches? What? It's like when somebody starts a story with like, you just gotta believe me. And then they tell you, it's like instantly I'm not gonna believe you.
I'm not
As soon
gonna
as you
believe
say
a
you're
fucking thing, yeah.
You're
as soon as you say you're like, but okay, listen, I'm not a witch.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah.
I'm not a
fucking
witch.
Throw
but
throw your water at him. Her. It.
I guess
I
it's
think-
just that's pop culture, right? Like
I think with the like when you say honestly with the evolution, I say like to all the witches out there, like just stay the course because you're gonna be a recognized religion if you're not already.
It's gotta
Like
be.
you have
Yeah,
all
no
the
kidding.
you got the persecution down. Like Jesus.
Mhm.
I'm sure Jesus was a witch at some
and
point.
At some point, he probably was.
Yeah, fucking right he was. Turning all
original
that
witch.
water into wine and stuff. Just a
Fucking-
street musician, magician, both.
Yeah,
I'm
both.
sure he clapped
Yeah,
his hands and sang.
he's fucking
Um,
OG.
Like, that's, so your religion, not to say it started there, but like, you know, pagans, I don't know.
But that's like a different
Just-
religion. That just like evolved.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You
like,
know, like I think
to be-
witches
yeah.
like to say like, oh, it goes all the way back to paganism because it's like
Yeah.
gives it some like history and value. But like that's not
Fair
the
enough,
same
yeah, I'll give you
thing.
If you're praying to the god, not the god, but Satan,
Yeah.
from Christian, it's like a Christian-based witch, not a pagan-based witch. Is that what you're saying?
I just mean the like current incarnation of it, and it's like, oh, this is like oh, Halloween was a pagan whatever, It's like,
Yeah.
not really. You might be able to
really
like
was it?
trace everything back to something that happened, everything goes back to a pagan festival or this or that. It's like, yeah, but it got like remade and re-celebrated so many times. Like there's nothing left of the original version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That like if you're a witch today, it's like you have nothing in common with a witch of 1400 or before that. Like nothing.
No.
Whatever.
No.
Same thing if you're like a Christian today. Like you're not the same
besides
thing.
the fact
as,
that it's all bullshit.
yeah, it's like
And they get their witch's teat, right? They get your witch's teat.
teat of the coldest part
They
of the
all
body.
got witch's teat. Yeah, they're cold. No. Apparently a witch's teat. It was like what they would back in like when they couldn't prove that you were a witch. They would shave your everything. And look for like a mark that Satan had left on you, because that was part of the deal you made. Like he got to mark you as one of his.
Was there that much hair that they need to shave your everything?
Oh yeah, think of it. Like what are we talking? The 1600s? Yeah, they didn't shave their everything at all, so it'd be like a beaver's pelt from fucking ass crack to navel, right?
Yeah.
Like
just
we
in
gotta
case
shave
you
all that.
decided, to spread your cheeks and mark you.
Yeah, they gotta see.
That's
They
what the
gotta
devil's
check.
gonna
They
mark
gotta
you.
know.
The devil's gonna mark you.
Sir, are you gonna
mark
take
low.
off your pantaloons? Like, no, it's just my bush. Yeah. So they would shave it all and look for the mark that he would leave, and it was called the witch's teat. And it could be anything. It could be a freckle. It could be a birthmark, a scar. Like at that point, they were after they shaved you, they're just looking for anything. Like
they cut you while they're shaving you.
Yeah,
There it is.
A
They
wound that
see
will never
nothing
bleed.
as they're
Never
doing
stop
it.
bleeding. It's like I just started bleeding.
Yeah, it's my period.
Just sound like they really liked burning people. Maybe they were
didn't.
cold.
That's it though. Like I said, they didn't burn them.
They
They
didn't
just
burn anybody.
fucking
They just like hanging people.
hang them good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe they like decorations. Decorate
true,
your
yeah.
town.
But like the Spanish, I didn't really get a chance to get into the Spanish stuff, but they were all out burning witches.
Yeah, just
no, like I said,
give us your
did
basic.
they did a big old witch hunt and make it up. They burned a lot of people.
Mercury was in retrograde that year though.
Oh yeah, the whole time.
The whole time makes perfect
Yeah, 6
sense.
years. It was real weird. Yeah.
Really retro.
Really retro. It was like the old Gatorade, the green kind.
Oh yeah.
But but so like they were just all about spreading the good book, the gospel, by burning women, and like full on burning them, and gay people too. They got burned.
They got it for sure. Yeah.
But they didn't get thrown. They didn't get burned at the stake. Like they got thrown in with the wood. They would make them collect the wood.
The fags, right? That's where they got fags.
The bundle, go get a bundle of fags was referred as like a bundle of wood, of sticks. And if they didn't bring enough back to burn the witch, they would douse the gay person in like gasoline, kerosene, and make them and throw them in the fire to burn on the fire.
If they weren't good enough at collecting the wood, really?
Yeah.
Why did they need so much wood if they had gasoline?
That's a great question. It wasn't kerosene. Maybe they was like.
Also, who's deciding if they got enough wood? Is it the same people who are deciding who are the witches? Like, this is flawed. This is flawed. I would not agree. I would not agree.
I'm not saying it was a good time.
It's not Salem where they had laws to uphold.
Yeah, there were laws, dignity. But there was also one thing that I read about them using a garrote on the witches before they burnt them. So like not all of them were burnt alive. They would like, it's like a garrote is when you like tie a rope around someone's throat with a stick and then you'd like twist the stick.
To get extra tension on it.
Yeah, and just let it tighten up and fucking then they just suffocate, right? So like you would die and then they would just burn you instantly. but probably not all the time. I can't give them that. I won't vouch for that. I bet you there was a couple.
Just think of modern day. Like, people are so soft right now. So soft, man. Like,
so many people would be offended by that.
Well, everyone would gather in town. Yeah, everyone would gather in town square and watch a bunch of people get stoned and hung and garroted, burned. You know, and it was like, okay, let's get all the kids, bundle up. We're gonna go watch this person burn to death. You know,
I know,
and it's a lesson for you kids. Like, don't be a witch, or you're gonna get that. Like, it's there's your punishment.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
We actually in Guelph, they used to do like public executions, like way back, like 92.
92.
The year of the Blue Jays.
Yeah, the Blue Jays that just won the World Series.
Public executions in 92.
Yeah. The next morning there was a good hanging.
Wow.
No, but they I went on a ghost tour one time of Guelph, and that was one of the stops, was because they used to do hangings there, and people would come from all around, like Toronto and St. Catharines, to travel like 2 weeks by carriage to watch people get hung, hanged. I think is the terminology.
Whatever you like, bud.
But I mean, like, you can go to like parts of the Middle East and people still get stoned, mostly women
every day,
right?
I'm sure parts of Spain
there for sure.
Oh, probably that underbelly.
It's a seedy underbelly.
Madrid.
Good back alley stoning.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, like that dude, RJ, you kind of brought him up. He was like, they just put rocks on him until he died. He was like, they accused him of being a witch, and he was like, I'm not a witch.
I'm gay.
And so that,
I'm not a witch, I'm gay. Stone him anyways.
But I guess then they put like a board on him and then put a rock on him and then would ask him again. And every time he said he wasn't a witch, they'd put another rock on him. And I guess like one of like the last words he said, like they asked him like, are you a witch? And he just said, put on more weight. And then they like gave him a cheeseburger. A nice hoagie. Got him nice and fat. No, but then put another block on him and crushed him, I guess, or like suffocated him.
I guess he'd suffocate.
Asphyxiation.
There'd be so much weight to like crush a bone or anything.
It's not forceful. It's just slow.
Yeah.
Constant
like the frog in the.
Yeah. I stepped on a mouse one time and it was so friggin' disgusting.
Pops. Yeah.
Yeah, just like hearing it all like click under my heel.
Yeah, I did that too. It's gross.
That's disgusting. Are you guys stomping them with your heels? Or?
It's totally by accident.
Both of you just like, exact same thing.
I'm pretty sure it was already dead. It was just like a dead mouse and I stepped on it. But I like audibly heard it all click under my foot.
Yeah. I was just walking on like a gravel road or like a driveway rather, and just bad step, and it just went whoop, and it was like
wow.
Just,
I hit 2 birds with my truck one time in like a week and a half. That was pretty cool.
Dude, it's like I don't even want to tell you how many birds I have in my grill right now. Like I hit birds every day. Like really? Every fucking day. I don't know what they just love the van or something. I don't know. Yeah. Like there's literally a handful in my grill right now. Like and usually every time I go get gas, I'll just flick a couple out.
Yeah. It's like a bird conservatory.
Yeah, kind of like that.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, fuck.
There was one time we were driving across the country with I was driving with our big dreadlock buddy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And
Sasquatch.
We were crossing the country, and we were so fucking tired. Yeah, Sasquatch. And it was like, 25 hours into like our 30-hour stint on this stretch. And he was like, oh, hold the wheel for a sec. I'm going to roll a smoke or roll a doob or whatever. And as soon as you let go of the wheel, I didn't even have time to grab the wheel yet. And we hit like 40 birds. Like, it was like in the millisecond between, oh, grab the wheel, I'm going to roll a doob, to me going to reach over, it was just like, like shrapnel. Just hit 40 fucking birds. Like, what the fuck was that?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember one time having turkeys a whole fucking murder of turkeys fly over my truck, and that was a weird like.
Really?
If I hit, yeah, like if I
never
hit
seen
one
a
of these,
wild
it's
turkey.
like, you know, I'll be fine. But that's a lot of fucking turkey to clean up.
You're eating it. If you're hitting a turkey, you're eating it.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's some fucking witch stuff.
I've hit grouse and eaten it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's gross.
That's gross.
That's northern living, baby.
Wow.
That's the way of the road, yeah.
Yeah. If I hit any birds on the way down, any big birds on the way down to the city next time, I'm definitely eating that shit.
Skylar, remember that time I ran over the turtle after like 3 false alarms?
Yep, I sure do.
Like
we
a
were
pet
like
turtle?
we were driving like up near a cabin, and there's like all these horses on the road for some reason. Like someone left a gate open, so we're like driving really slow between all these horses, and like I fucking am terrified of horses. Like they're just so unpredictable, and it was like really like okay, like we're like in and out, getting around all these horses. And as soon as we got like out of the horses, I just gunned it because I want to get out of here. And we gun it like 60 feet, and a deer runs out in front of us, and I have to like jam the brakes, go into the like wrong lane. And as I go into the wrong lane to avoid the deer, this like truck comes over the hill into because I'm in the wrong lane. And we like, everyone in the car is screaming, so we like yank it back into the right lane, and just as I do it, I just ran over a snapping turtle and just destroyed this thing. Like, you look in the rearview mirror and you just see it like upping like ass over tea kettle, like the like vacuum from the car. Just kicked it up.
Was someone building Noah's Ark?
That was like the wildest, like, 40 seconds. Everyone in the car screaming at every animal, like fucking horses and deers and a semi truck, and then boom, turtle. And everyone did that voice like, oh, the turtle. You just look in the back, it's just like spinning like an abandoned tire like down the road, just this turtle rolling away. It's like, yeah, the thing's gone.
Like a dreidel on Hanukkah.
Yeah, you're gone. Fucking turtle.
Just spinning. What do you have against horses? Is it because like they wear shoes?
I think they're just like incredibly strong and powerful, and people have this like, we control them mentality.
Ooh.
It's just that
it's
it's that like false control that humans think they got, but it's only because like horses are like chill. But like as soon as that horse is like, I don't want to be here anymore, like there's nothing you can do about it.
No, it's like an elephant.
It's exactly like an elephant.
Less trunk.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the trunk's in the back.
Got that back trunk. But they just like kick and they like, I don't know, you call it like
that lower back trunk. Yeah.
Back trunk.
I don't know. Horses are. I don't know how fucking those big, strong animals just walk around on those little ankles.
Man, they break them legs pretty often, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's common.
And like, how did they fucking live in the world before we put shoes on them? Like, did they just not walk on things?
Normally.
Is that why they didn't conquer the world? Because they didn't walk on rocks?
I think that's a future episode. Like, why did horses get shoes? But like, no other animals got them.
I think it was more of a convenience sake thing because they were work animals and they wanted to prolong.
Do you put shoes on like bulls and stuff too? Like those other working animals?
What about goats?
I don't know.
Goat
and like
shoes?
oxen and stuff and donkeys. I think they might shoe donkeys.
Donkey shoes.
Yeah, I think they shoe donkeys.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's because they're work animals and it's just like you got putting miles on those hooves. You want like a surface that can wear.
Is it
better nail a piece of metal?
Is it wear
to
or is it like traction? Because they're like walking on like grass and pulling shit all the time.
Interesting. I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was. My first thought would be wear, right? Because that's disposable. Where like cutting a hoof off is certain death,
No, yeah. Do hooves fucking grow?
Yeah,
Like
it's like a fingernail.
Yeah. So maybe does it stop the growing?
No.
Because you got to change the shoes pretty often, I think.
Yeah, you
do.
gotta change
I
them.
haven't changed my shoes in years.
No.
2-3 years.
God.
Good
Same
thing you're not a
shoes.
horse.
Yeah. Ugh, I hate these shoes. Well, they're nailed to your feet, so walk out.
Deal with it.
I often
Yeah.
think
Deal
of
with
like,
At least you got a back trunk, you know?
like weird food sometimes.
Count your blessings.
I think of like a weird food and I'm like, wow, who's the first person to think like I'm gonna try and eat this? Something like a,
Pate.
yeah, pate
Witches.
or octopus or something. Like that's okay, but like the first person's pretty brave. The first person to think like I'm just gonna hammer this fucking shoe onto the horse. That's a brave man.
It's dead.
Like here, you
He's
hold
dead.
He's
still.
totally dead.
Hold still,
The
like
fourth guy took credit for it. Everybody knows that.
just Farmer
Those other
Brown. Like
suckers.
okay, we need to like get more traction. Suggestions is like let's just hammer some metal to their feet. Use some
Yeah.
little nails.
Yeah, I wonder what they went through before they settled on the horseshoe. Like,
Yeah.
there's got to be some, like, other things they tried.
Yeah.
The first three guys
for
tried.
Sure.
Like I was gonna say, like the
Yeah.
design is pretty good, but
It held
Flawless.
up.
who's gonna
Has it
try
changed?
something else? Like this one works. You can get the horse to stay
Yeah.
still for 30 seconds for you to hammer this into the bottom of its foot.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm sure like individual spikes was a thing at one point, and that didn't really
from the
work,
top
right?
down, like through the top of the foot.
yeah, through the foot. That didn't work. Yeah,
I mean, if you
they
could
tried-
find a way, that's $1 million idea right there for anybody listening. Find the new horseshoe
Mm.
that's
Yeah.
not so intrusive on the hoof.
yeah,
Something that straps on there. I don't know.
yeah, like the French gave us the croissant, and
Yeah.
we made a croissant.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
You gotta fucking upgrade. Shit only lasts 6-7 years these days.
Yeah, it's been hundreds though. I bet.
Of horseshoes, thousands. I bet you they
Thousands,
haven't changed
eh?
that shit. Yeah.
Well, when was the age of iron or the blacksmithing stuff? When was it jumping off point for that?
Jesus, Jesus had horses.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, but
That's-
did they have shoes?
Well, he didn't have. He had sandals.
Yeah, people didn't even have shoes back then.
Yeah, they're not gonna give horses shoes if people don't have shoes.
This is true. Very. Yeah. Okay. But I'm sure there were like the Romans. They fucking had them. They had aqueducts.
They had everything.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure they had shoes for their horses, shoes for their pigs, hats too.
Yeah,
When I was in
Hats as far as the eye could see.
I was in Spain a few months ago on this like beach town that had these giant Roman fishing pools like one beach over, and it was pretty much like 200 meters out. There's like, it was, how do I describe this for the audio listeners? It was like a big rectangle made out of stones, like right on the beach. And it went out maybe
On the
200
beach.
yards and across like 600 yards, like a big rectangle going lengthwise on the beach. And
Like a
I'm like,
breaker?
so what's this about? And they're like, oh, it's a Roman fishing pool. Because Rome had like a colony there, or whatever you would call it, an empire there thousands of years ago.
No swimming in the Roman fishing pool.
No, but what would
No.
happen is when the tide comes in, it would be full of water, and then the tide would go out, and all that would be left would be like fish flapping around on this like
Oh.
empty like seabed.
That's
It's like
Really?
this genius way to fish. Like how come
Yeah.
people don't do that anymore?
no effort.
No
Well, there's
effort.
probably
You don't do
rules
it. You just
against
go
it.
up in the morning, you walk around with a bag and pick up all the fish. Like they're just laying
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, there's
No
definitely
effort,
rules against that.
There's
gotta
probably
be.
rules against that now.
Yeah.
I mean,
For sure.
they made a net. I think that's why they don't do that anymore. Someone forged
Yeah, I
a
guess
net.
this was
But fuck that.
pre-net.
People just cut their nets off and leave them in the ocean.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's better.
No, I want to go back
Just
to
came
Romans. They
after.
had it right.
Romans were
Yeah.
right on
yeah,
there.
that's pretty smart.
Fucking,
pretty
Fucking,
let nature
I'm
do
all
the work.
for like, yeah. What was it called? A Roman aquafisher?
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Give me more of those.
Yeah.
Aqueducts.
Aquafridge.
I think we need more of that. Aquafridge. Yeah.
It's the first grocery store actually.
Yeah.
The,
You had to
the
pay.
fishery.
You just pay admission to go inside and pick up your salmon and go home.
Yeah, the variety sucked, but
Yeah.
you know.
Oh,
You
rock
gotta fight
bands.
the birds and the crabs for everything.
Oh, for sure. There'd be so many crabs. And you can just take them too,
Yeah,
though.
it's free.
Put them in a basket. Cook them
I
up.
bet you that technique is used somewhere in the world still.
Somewhere that doesn't have nets.
Yeah, or just because of the convenience factor. Like, you don't
Seems
have to be
super
present.
convenient.
You literally just build it, walk away,
Yeah.
come back the next evening.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whenever the time
Fucking
goes
New
up.
Zealand. They probably
The
still do
one that was where I was like thousands of years old and had a bunch of holes in it, so you couldn't use it anymore. Because when the
Yeah.
tide would go out, the fish would just go out through the holes. But you
Mm-hmm.
know, back in its prime, it was basically enough room, like the cracks between everything for the water to leave, but not the fish. It was like perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
And when the tide was in, there's like 2 feet above it, so the fish would just swim in and not realize that there's a one-way street.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. But on that on that topic, like first people to do this or do that, like I was just thinking the other day, like I wear glasses. I rely on them heavily.
See?
You know.
Yeah.
Bifocals.
Who the fuck discovered that? And even just like making glass out of
Yeah.
sand or silica or whatever. Like who the fuck?
I think his name is Kevin Bifocal.
Yeah.
yeah.
Is it? Yeah, it sounds legit. Yeah.
Their
Kevin
teeth.
bifocal?
Kevin Bifocal.
I thought it was Barry bifocal.
It might have been brothers.
Yeah, Barry and Kevin.
like
yeah.
Yeah, like the Wright brothers, Orville and Redenbacher. Yeah, like I don't know, monocles were a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
They're
it's still
right,
that
like,
first
yeah.
conversation of like, hey man, can you like read me this book? And someone's like, I can't read it. The letters are too small. And
You
then
must
someone
be
else
dumb.
has to be like, but I can, like,
Yeah.
how do you like, I don't know, like, how do you tell someone that like can't hear very well that like everyone else can hear, you can't hear
yeah.
us, like.
Yeah, yeah.
So when people didn't
Well,
have
Helen
glasses, like, how do you know someone had bad eyesight, like, and you just didn't assume
They got
everyone
eaten.
can't see that like giant hawk?
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
eaten. That's
Yeah.
how you knew. Yeah, it's crazy
But-
though, because like
Ugh.
we would be at a serious disadvantage if it was however many hundreds or thousands of years ago before it was like common for regular people to have glasses.
Yeah.
We'd be fucked.
You
Yeah, it's called evolution.
I think I'm gonna
you
like.
didn't survive because you didn't see anything. You didn't see it coming. You died.
But okay,
You
so I'm treading lightly
Survival.
here.
How come we're still
fittest.
here then?
I'm treading lightly.
Because you're bifocals. We've gone over
Yeah,
this.
true.
I feel like in my observation
Well,
of
it's
the world
degenerative too, right?
and my life, there's a disproportionate amount of Asians with glasses.
What do you mean? You feel like there's more? or
Yeah,
less?
I feel like every Asian has
More?
glasses.
Yeah, I think they're fake though. I think a lot of them are just, it's like a fashion thing.
Okay.
No lenses or
Yeah, no, probably just like you clear lenses maybe. I don't know.
just glass.
There was a point when like clearly contacts was a new thing and
Yeah.
like all those online thing. So people were buying up glasses and I go to the bar. This is, I don't know, maybe less than 10 years ago. You go to the bar and no kidding, every fucking night there'd be some random chick. Can I try on your glasses? Are they real? It's like, are they real?
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah.
You don't think I want? You think I want to look like a dweeb?
Yeah.
Like, you know, because
Yeah.
I
Your eyes
don't want
instantly
to.
just go.
Yeah, it was like pretty constant for years. Like, oh, can I try on your glasses? Are those real? It's like, one, they're real. Two, get fucked.
Yeah.
I need these to see how stupid you look right now. Like asking me to try on my glasses. You know, like no.
You should have let them
Yeah, I
try on your
wonder
glasses.
when-
and
You
then-
do though. You do every once in a while.
I wonder when that changed, because you say that and that's totally true.
Yeah.
But I remember in like grade
People
school, like I
thought
had
they were
glasses
fake.
since I was like 4, so I've always
Yeah.
had them, and I was the only kid that had them until like grade 6.
too, yeah.
And some other girl got them, and she would like cry every day because she had to wear glasses. Everyone would make fun of her. And then somewhere in like your late teens, early 20s, it's like cool.
Everyone. And
Yeah.
everyone's got them. Yeah.
And the same deal, like just like blank lenses.
I think
or
that's
whatever.
just old age. It's not
Yeah, the
cool.
old age,
It's
yeah.
just I need fucking glasses. I can't see anything.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you made it this far, man.
33 drinks on me.
You're 30. You're not 33.
Soon.
Soon. You're gonna wait till you're 33.
Yeah, when are you gonna go get your
to
eyes
do
tested?
Get glasses?
Yeah, celebrate
Yeah.
with some glasses.
No, I'll just wait till my next fucking drive thing. Next time they test me.
Oh yeah.
Like that was, I remember when the last time I went and got my eyes tested and they put that shit on your eyes.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, like you guys know. Here I am explaining it, you fucking blind fucks. But it was like, what are the numbers? And they're in different spots.
Yeah. The driving test one is hard.
There were times when I was just straight up in that thing, like squinting, like, B. Did you say B? No, I said D. And the girl was like, okay. And I passed. So it was like, I can see, but that's like a game I play. I just cheating the fucking MTO. Yeah, I can see. Bitches.
Yeah, I hadn't gone for an eye test in at least a handful of years. I've just been, because of Clearly Contacts, I got my prescription 10 years ago. Yeah. And then every once in a while, I'll bump it up by a 0.25. You know what I mean?
I don't do that. That's a good idea.
I just guess.
Own medicating.
And I've been getting to the point where I just was guessing and guessing, and to the point where I was ordering glasses that were not the right prescription. So I was like, it's been 8 years. I just wasted $50 on these glasses.
Can't see shit. That's awesome, yeah.
I can't see shit. Yeah. So like, and like I got headaches every day. So I'm gonna go get my eyes checked. Like, stop being stubborn. They got some fancy new gizmos. Like way fancier than I remember it.
Right.
Like you put your head in this dome, and there's all these little lights. And you like see it out of your peripherals and stuff.
I remember.
But what does that have to do with glasses? You don't have any peripherals. Do you have peripherals with glasses?
Barely. No,
but they should test if you can periph. Because that's all part of like eye health. Yeah.
Can the
they test it.
Like often I don't wear my glasses. Like I just squint real hard and I'm fine. Like I have like sunglasses that aren't prescription ones, and I wear them all the time, and I just kind of walk around squinting. And I get by.
Great.
So it's like the sunglasses make me look like cool, but if I like pull them up a bit, I'm just like squinting real hard.
I buy the cheapest frames, like the $9 frames.
Yeah.
And get the prescription sunglasses put in there, because it's about as expensive as getting real glasses with real frames from the cheap sites. Like I'm not going to spend hundreds of dollars.
No.
Oh, Mike, we know. I think we already heard about your fucking prescription sunglasses on this program.
Yeah. I was man, I used to be bad for glasses, dude.
Just tape. Don't you glue the
hot glue, baby.
Hot glue.
Yeah.
That's actually ingenious. I make fun, but that's like, wow, why would you ever pay
I haven't got new glasses since Clearly Contacts took away the first pairs free thing.
Oh, that was nice, dude. All you needed was a new email.
A new email. I got glasses every 2 years.
Yeah.
For, you know.
Yeah, I was flush.
Free on a free email.
Flush.
You just sign up with a new email. Like, I was like, what the hell kind of promotion is this?
Yeah.
First pair's free? Like, how often do you think people buy glasses? But I guess it's all those nerds that just, like, want to look like they have glasses. And
I mean, I went through glasses like a few a year for a couple years there. So like that first pair free was bitching, man. I got emails that I don't even know about because of that fucking promotion.
Yeah.
You know. But going to shows and like forgetting to take your glasses off in the heat of the moment, and you're just like, because things are going, you run into the pit and someone punches you in the face. And there goes your glasses, right?
These ones I have now, I got like 4 years ago, because the ones I had before that I got smashed at a Scatolites concert, like at Lee's Palace. It was like the sickest reggae concert.
That was fun, man.
Yeah, and someone just punched me in the face and broke my glasses, and it was just like, whatever. Yeah. I'm just gonna sign up with a new email tomorrow and have a fresh pair on my door by Friday.
Get some new ones, Yeah, there was nothing to worry about in those days. You get your glasses in a week.
Yeah,
for free.
I didn't give a shit. I'm like, whatever.
I think you paid $10 to ship them.
Yeah, you pay shipping. I think it was so easy.
How many times throughout our youth and fucking teenage years did the people who could see and the people who couldn't see, but the people who could see have to spend their time after the shows looking for our glasses? Like it was every fucking show. Like, Rue, like I lost the lens, you know, and it's like, oh, I found it, but it's been stepped on.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'll put it in there anyways, you know, and one eye it all the way home.
Just pirate style.
Yeah.
I remember that
Like every fucking show.
that night, yeah, when I broke mine at the Scatolites, like after the show, like looking for them because they're like the prescriptions like written on the inside of the one arm, like the numbers. I'm like, I need the one arm so I know what the prescription is.
So you know what it is.
Yeah. And that's like another cruel joke on like glasses wearers. Like the prescription's written on the inside of the right arm, but in the world's tiniest font. That if you take your glasses off to read it, there's no way you can do it.
You can't
You
see
need
it.
someone else to read it to
Pretty
you.
It's a
ironic.
sick joke.
So lame.
Sick joke.
It should be in Braille or
So
something.
Alanis Morissette.
Yeah. That's not an Atlanta song.
No. I don't know how you make that into a
I
song.
don't know. But I was actually thinking the other day, like, I'm due for some new glasses. And I'm like, But then I'd have to find someone to read me the prescription off the inside of this one. And that's too much work.
In
Romania,
Romanian, too.
Yeah.
Never mind.
They probably don't understand numbers the same way they
Oh, no. It's all...
I bet you there's still some witches in Romania.
There's lots.
Gypsies, for
Gypsies,
sure.
okay. I've seen some
Yeah.
sites, my friends.
Yeah?
The biggest eye-opener, well, landing, I think I messaged this in our group chat. The landing strip, whatever you call that, the airport in Bucharest.
I you should bring this up.
I'm bringing it up because it revolves around
Yeah, no.
this new world I'm in. Each side of the runway had an abandoned airplane. Like, just moss-covered,
Now, which time of day did you roll in
That's
at?
fucking wild.
3 p.m.
Wow.
Moss covered, though.
It just, like,
Moss
completely
covered.
abandoned
Like,
Asian
Dave,
Moss
airplane.
covered? What?
Asian Airlines, just, like, on its side, like an old car you didn't need anymore.
Wing in the ground.
Like,
See,
it wasn't
when
like
you
it
said
crashed. It was just like, we don't have room for this. We're going to drag it out back. And we
Yeah.
did that 20 years ago, and it's still there. But it's like,
we
this
need
is
this
not
wheel
what
for
you want
another
to
plane.
see when you're landing. You know, that's like going to a hospital
No,
and they have a bunch of skeletons in the front door. Like,
People waiting?
yeah, just like people in wheelchair, like skeletons in wheelchairs in the waiting room. It's like, no, like I don't want to see this while landing.
No, that's horrible.
Yeah. And then the like gypsy culture is like super real. There are some people everywhere.
It is
There's
normal.
one lady like not far from my apartment. She had like a blanket out front of her apartment and she's just selling stuff, like panhandling.
Yeah.
But she's selling like used TV remotes. Which
What?
yeah.
Are they in short supply there?
I guess like someone looks at that doesn't really know a lot about technology and thinks that has value. But it's like
Oh,
some
a cell phone.
RCA like
Yeah.
remote from 1987. It's like the odds that someone is missing this particular
Clicker.
insane.
Like, are they universal remote?
No, they're just like a handful of remotes on a blanket out front, and she's just sitting there in front of it.
They're probably full of drugs.
It's got to be something.
That's
Like they
her-
weren't like
that's her
mint
rights.
in box or anything. Like these are just used remotes.
Yeah, drugs, or sex toy or something. Like
Oh man.
there's a shtick
Yeah.
there for sure.
One of them might have been like a air conditioner remote. Like she was not garage door opener.
Wasn't even a TV remote.
Yeah.
She's not particular.
Garage door remote.
She wasn't prejudiced at all. No.
But it was
Oh,
like,
no.
damn. That is a
I was
hard
in training.
business.
I was in training in Winnipeg with a guy from Romania. Like he was born and raised, and he had like been in Canada for a handful of years. And his stories were pretty wild. Just like the amount of bribes that take place. Like I guess it's a pretty common thing. Like there's a mob influence there in Romania. So like if you own a local business, if you own a business, you're paying to keep the doors open
Yeah.
to whoever runs that block, and it's like just a known thing. No one talks about it. Like the cops don't bother. Yeah, it's
Wow.
a lot of bribes going on.
I can see it.
Have
But
fun with that.
I'm here.
Do
And
some
they
bribing.
I mean, I know you've only been there a couple days,
2 days.
but like
This
just
is day 2.
2 days, yeah. But they value things differently there too. Like there's not a lot of money, but when they
No, it's
have
super
money,
cheap. It's awesome.
they'll just go and they'll blow it. Like they'll go get bottle service at the club and fucking
burn
filet
it down.
mignon. Just spend just blow their whole wad on one night.
Yeah.
Like the one night a year they have money, and they just blow it, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of a nice sentiment to think like, fuck it, we make it all year or make it all month without any money. Let's just have a good time.
Yeah.
But it's different. Like everyone here is like, let's save. Let's have, save for a mortgage and fucking put money in our savings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just different.
Think about the future.
Like, that's important. Like, thinking for the future for sure. But when you think about, like, okay, so I'm going to squirrel away all my money so when I'm 65, I can, like, not have a job and not have to worry about it. Like,
but you also don't have any knees.
Yeah, it's like, well, you could just live a little bit more now and actually enjoy it with your youth.
Yeah.
But coming to Romania was like pretty sweet. Like, it's so cheap. I have this huge 3-bedroom apartment. It costs $300 Canadian.
What?
It's so sweet.
Are you the only one there?
Yeah, I thought I was going to be a roommate with some guy, and then I got here and like I just met the superintendent. He gave me the key, and I'm like texting him like, Emilian, where are you? And he's like, I don't live there. I'm just like, wait, what? Like, just like 3-bedroom furnished apartment. I'm like, okay.
So you got like a masturbating room.
There's 2 bathrooms.
Like
two masturbating rooms.
2 masturbating rooms and 1 for sleeping.
So I took a poo in one bathroom.
And you do some
and I was like,
masturbating
okay,
in
so this
there,
is
too.
going to be the poo bathroom, and the other one would be the pee bathroom.
PE bathroom.
And then when I was
might
like
as
finishing
well.
up my poo, I realized that I put the toilet paper in the other bathroom. So I had to walk bare-assed across the house.
But you can.
I can. Yeah.
You know that for
That's the
$300
luxury.
you want to. That's funny. We stayed
That's
at
worth it.
we stayed at
Get a good turn on your dollar.
a bunch of
I might
guys
just
from
do that
back
for
home.
fun from now on. Just poo in one and walk to the other one to clean up.
Air out in the middle. But we a couple guys from back home came and visited out here some years ago, and we went to Fino, and we were camping for a better part of 2 weeks. And one day it was just raining like a son of a bitch. Like you could not, like we couldn't even get our tent set up. Like it was just, everything was soaked. We've been sleeping outside, like I said, for like 10 days or something at that point. So it's like, fuck it, let's just see if we can like get into a hostel. So there's one hostel in Tofino. I don't know, there could be more, but there's the one hostel in Tofino. It's a 3-story hostel. No one was there. It was off season. Not a fucking single person. So there's literally 3 of us in this 3-story house.
Yeah.
Where each level had a kitchen kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we were just like, hey, you take level 1, I'll take level 2, and we didn't do that, but we did designate one of the rooms. We ate all the food we ate all the fucking food in the house too, like everything. Cupboards were fucking just empty by the time we left. But which wasn't a part of the deal, apparently. We found out as we were checking out, you can't eat all the food, but we did. But we designated one of the rooms for all of our wet gear. So we just closed the door and cranked the heat to like max and just fucking hung out all of our wet, stinky gear, fucking tent, everything, right? And it
That's
just
disgusting.
reeked the fucking house. But they were dry the next day, and we went on our merry way. Thank you, $20 hostel. $20, man. We got our fill.
That's sick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, like, do we have any more witch talk? Are we completely off the witches?
Dude, I had no witch talk.
Nothing. Not a drop.
I read up on some stuff. I watched some documentaries, and it was just like, yeah, boring.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
The most interesting part of it was like the witch hunt part of people just accusing each other and then no trial. Like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But that, again, is like, that's not a new thing or an old thing. Like, that still happens today. People love to point fingers and guilty until proven innocent. Like, that's just human nature. Like, that's not actually that interesting. Like, that happens all the time.
This is true. Yeah, nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed. That's how the world still works.
Yeah, my preparation for this week's episode was going to Subway and getting a sandwich. Ooh. That was my preparation. Had to throw that in there.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. I guess we got some syphilis talk.
Got
We got some.
Yeah.
Do we have any Ask an Expert questions? Every week we keep meaning to like open a poll on our Facebook group to like ask an expert to the audience, but we just never do it. So
I think that now that you've said it, we have.
now that I've said
That's
it,
how it works.
We should
we'll do it this week.
Yeah.
It'll probably get us thinking more about it because, like, I thought of one while we were podcasting.
Yeah.
I just think like when it comes to the ask an expert, like just ask anything. Doesn't have to be about a topic that we've talked about.
Anything at all.
No.
You know?
We'll do
Could
our
be about
usual
what the
like
weather is today.
Yeah. We'll ask each other
Could be about
questions
love.
on the topic, but then we'll do like a weekly grab one from the audience and just ask the group anything. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should.
What was the question you made up during this conversation, Mike?
Well, I was trying to think of 3 witches because I was gonna ask the fuck, marry, kill question.
Oh, nice.
So, fuck, marry, kill Elvira, who is the babest of babes.
Who the fuck is Elvira?
You don't know what Elvira is?
No.
She's like Vampira.
Okay, well, you can't
Same
play.
thing.
You're out. You're
What's
automatically
she from?
out.
Tell me what she's from.
She's her own. She had a TV show in like the 70s, maybe. But like she's her own thing.
Yeah, she's
kinda
like
a-
Vampira. It's like the same thing,
Yeah.
but different.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah,
some
yeah,
goth
but the
chick.
witch version.
Yeah, witch
And like
version.
she's got pinball machines and comic books
Yeah.
and toys. You know, she's just like kind of a pop culture thing, right? So fuck,
Okay,
marry,
so-
kill Elvira, that chick from Harry Potter, whatever.
The child?
The one. Okay, yeah. Well, I don't know any witches. Elvira, the middle-aged woman from Harry Potter.
She's a child. Like
Hermione?
one of the teachers?
Isn't that your cat's name?
No, it's Harangi.
Okay. Well,
Korean
my
for
question's
tiger.
done. Mine's done.
I would
Fuck,
kill
marry,
the child
kill
because I'm
Elvira.
not going to marry her fuck
Yeah.
her. So
Yeah, I would ask the child be removed from the equation.
Just
Is
kill
that
it. Kill it. You
Yeah,
can kill
just
it.
kill it. All
I
right,
didn't
yeah,
do
kill the
witch hunt
kid.
So
fashion.
fuck, marry,
I'm not
kill
going to ask any
Elvira.
questions. I'll just kill the child right away.
Okay, kill the child.
Child's dead.
Elvira and
Wicked Witch of the
Sabrina,
West.
the middle-aged witch. You know, like not the
Middle-aged or
teenage.
teenage?
No, like modern day.
Modern
Like
day.
she
What about
grew
late
up.
teenage?
And it's
Modern day
now-
Elvira or modern day just Sabrina?
Just the ones that are underage.
So, like, what about, is it modern day Hermione? She's still casting spells out there, or are we talking
Dude,
child?
There's not
child,
enough
she's
witches. I don't know enough witches to make this not weird.
What about the
okay?
the Wicked Witch of the West?
Yeah.
Oh,
or the
well,
East?
then you're gonna kill.
There's
you're not
two.
You're not gonna fuck her.
Well, that's
marry
what makes
that
it
woman.
interesting now. You got to
don't know.
marry her. Or...
You don't want a fucking army of monkeys that can fly?
Yeah, I'd marry her. I want the monkeys.
You're
I'd
gonna
marry her,
that
and then
one?
I'd fucking throw a pail of water on her.
Yeah. Get that divorce.
Fucking take her everything. Yeah,
Take her for her
Give
castle.
me that.
Okay.
Yeah, oh. I'd fucking, so I'd marry her. I'd kill Hermione because she's young.
Easy to kill, too. It's just a child.
Easy to kill.
And little neck
Yeah,
breaks so
fuck-
easy.
Yeah, and then fuck little
Elvira.
middle-aged Sabrina or Elvira, either
Either
or.
or.
Take a
Google
boat.
Elvira. Google Elvira. You'll wanna. Yeah.
Not
you'll
now.
wanna.
You're going to
Like,
blow
how
her
old
internet
are-
feed.
Yeah, don't do it now.
Oh,
She'll blow the
Oh,
feed,
she's probably
man.
like 85
I thought you wanted
now.
an answer. I don't want to kill Hermione though. She's just a pup.
Yeah. Well.
It's too late though.
too late.
She's already been killed
Yeah, she got
a couple
killed.
times.
Yeah, I didn't have a question, so that's perfect. Right
That's
on.
the question.
That's
Okay.
the question. Yeah. Do you
you
guys
get-
have one?
did you-
I hope you
Did
do.
you get it? Yeah.
I think I have to go on the theme of killing witches.
Okay.
It's common fact. A stake kills a vampire. Silver bullet kills a werewolf. What kills a witch?
Fags.
Bag.
Water.
Fags.
Water.
Water.
Fags.
Drowning.
Fags. Yeah.
Wow. Burning wood.
Burning them.
Yeah. Well, fags. Like it's
Yeah.
the only time
Fire,
I can
I think is
say
the
it
word
without
you're
it
looking
Fire
being-
is the word you're
But that
looking
also
for.
kills. Yeah.
But does that
also
kill
kills
them, or does that like
Frankenstein.
make like the next version I don't know. Is there a
Like
way
the
to
new
kill
breed?
it, or is that just like, and the witch disappeared? And it's like
I don't
a
know. Is
ghost.
it starvation? Like if they just don't eat children, they
Oh, that
die.
might be it.
Yeah, it's not a fun fucking silver bullet to the head. It's a slow, painful, miserable death.
What if you like barbed wired their broom?
Ooh.
And as soon as
Scratch them up real good.
yeah, bleed out.
I think water. I think you
Water.
throw a pail of
Yeah.
water at them.
It's either water or fags. Yeah. Either one.
The wood.
The wood.
I mean fire. Yeah, fire.
Yeah, fire. Wow. All right. All right. I don't know. Do I have a question? Like, I don't think so. Like, would you guys ever be witches? Would you sell your soul to see the world? Or
Yeah.
have a taste of butter?
Taste of what?
It's from that witch movie. Here's a funny thing. If you've never, like, we've already spoiled that witch movie, but the best
Yeah, I'll
part
never
about
see it
that
now.
is when the devil fucking lowballs the girl at the end, when it's like, do you want to be a witch? And she's like, yeah. Like, what's the price? She's like, I don't know. And he's just like, how about a taste of butter? And she's like, nah, no. Like, really? Like, I'm gonna sell you my soul for a fucking finger
Taste
lick
of
of
butter.
butter. Like, it's lard? Come on.
Yeah.
Fuck off. And then he's like, how about a pretty dress? Like, it's better.
Better.
Yeah.
I'm giving you my soul for eternal damnation. But yeah, what would you sell
Sacrifice?
your soul? What would you sell your soul for?
Ooh. And then you're a witch after, so something that...
No, you don't have to be a witch. You just, if you could sell your soul right now for a Reese peanut butter cup.
A little more than that, I think.
I don't think I'd
Exactly,
sell
right?
the soul. But like, if I went somewhere and there was like a bunch of witches hanging out, like, I'd entertain it.
Yeah.
I'd stick around. I'd hear about Mercury being in retrograde
Yeah.
and their little.
So you'd fuck them. You'd fuck them. That's what you're saying.
You'd hope.
I think if I'm sticking around in a witch's colony, it's because there's got to be some sort of orgy happening.
You know that's
Yeah,
gonna
you'd
eventually
hope.
happen.
Nightly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I want to dance around the fire nude
Yeah.
and just, like, blood orgy. I'll donate some blood to that.
But I'm not gonna sacrifice my soul for that.
Yeah, I
No?
don't
And I'd have to
I
show
don't
up by
know.
accident.
I don't think I would.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
no,
go
neither
as
would I.
advertised. It'd have to be like, hey, we're having a birthday party for Elvira or whatever her name was.
Yeah.
And then you get there and you're
Punch
like,
and
oh,
pie.
shit. But if it was like advertised, like, which is Coven, what do they call it? A Coven.
Coven?
Yeah.
Meet and
Murder?
greet. I'd be like, yeah, never mind.
Yeah, you're not going
Sounds
to that
like a
shit.
bunch.
Yeah, no, you're not going to a meet and greet. Like, you fucking bring, like, a Jell-O pudding or some sort.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Bring potato
that's-
salad.
yeah, like, no, we're not. If it's got to
I
have
don't
fuck
think- I don't-
sandwich in the title.
I don't think I would sell my soul for anything that I can think of.
No.
Wow. What
But
about a
like,
new
what is
hat?
your soul? Like, I mean,
It's nothing.
It's nothing.
yeah. So maybe Reese's peanut butter cup sounds pretty
Yeah.
good. You know?
If anything, like, we're the idiots for, like, oh, I'd sell it for nothing. Like, really? Like, you can take my soul for fucking, I'll give you $1 million. Give me $1 million for my soul. Like, okay. Because then at the end of the day, like, that person got nothing.
Something that always bugged me
Absolutely
Little does he
nothing.
know.
as like a,
Yeah.
growing up
Joke's on
as
you.
like
That means nothing.
a Catholic, and you always get taught about heaven and hell, and if you do bad things, you go to hell. And always, like, in the back of my mind was like, if you do bad things and you go to hell, why does the devil punish you? That makes no sense. Like, wouldn't you be like,
His slave or something.
Praise.
no, like, he'd celebrate you, no? If
High
he's the
five.
devil
Yeah.
and you're doing all this, like, devilish shit, like, why would you be punished and have to, like, drag a rock forever or whatever? Swim in the lake of fire. Like, why would you be punished? You should be thrilled.
Yeah.
He throws you some suntan
Yeah, you should have a
lotion.
big old party down there. It sounds like a good time. Like, all the cool people are downstairs.
Yeah, I'd say.
All the Mormons are
I'd say
upstairs.
so.
Like, fuck that party.
Yeah, I don't want to be stuck up
Yeah.
there.
I don't-
No music
Fuck
or
that.
anything.
I want to go to the party where the punch has certainly been spiked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, right? Like John Kennedy, Mother Teresa. Those are the people I want to party with.
What do you think Mother Teresa's in hell?
Oh, Mother Teresa. Did you not hear the hot rumor on the Therese?
Bring it.
Oh, is it?
She she fucking would sell children.
Oh, like
to
a
families.
witch.
Like a witch.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all full circle. The
Holy.
place that she ran, like her coven, got caught fucking selling children to like just people. Like it was like she was very much like for like the orphans and stuff.
Had a
ran an
price.
orphanage, but it was like out back door fucking like just selling kids for money.
You gotta pay for the food for everyone
Yeah.
else somehow.
And like and they're talking because like she's a saint, I think.
But who
these
buys
days,
a kid
so-
when you're at an orphanage? Aren't they free?
No, probably not.
You gotta
But
pay
the
for
good
that.
ones,
but
they sell
like-
the good ones.
But I mean, like, what is she selling them into?
Probably sex
there's,
trafficking.
Like, definitely.
Like, who's gonna buy a
probably.
child when you can just make one for free by accident?
Yeah, how they always come to be.
Ugh. Yeah.
Like, you're only buying it because you
accidental.
want to sex traffic it.
Make some money. Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
no
a good
one's
turn
buying
on
a
your
child.
dollar.
Fuck that. They're free.
No. So that's the thing. Like, she's supposed to be a saint
Mm.
and doing great things for humanity.
She
but
does
really
look
she's
like a
backdoor
witch.
selling. Oh, like honestly, as soon as I said
Yeah.
that, did she not just like pop in your head as a
Oh, yeah.
witch?
Her skin is
Replace
unnaturally...
the shawl
very
with a
witchy.
hat.
Yeah,
a
and that
pointy
skin
hat.
just, like, unnaturally wrinkly.
Wrinkly, like
Oh.
like she
Like
was
leather.
20 years old with those wrinkles.
Or she was twice the size
Yeah.
and shrunk down when she gave up her
Ooh.
soul. And there's all this extra skin.
Is that what you
Yeah.
give up?
Maybe.
When you give up your soul, you just lose.
You just
your
take
veins.
20%.
I don't know.
You lose size.
That, like,
Size.
7 pounds that apparently makes your corpse lighter or whatever. What is that what they say?
Yeah,
7 pounds.
7
8
ounces
pounds
or grams. or
7
something?
ounces.
7 ounces? It's
Wow.
less? It's tiny?
I think it's grams. isn't it?
Grams? I don't know.
Isn't that just the shit that you poo out?
It could just be nothing. And someone just said it
Yeah,
one
just
time.
hot air.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair, right? Like gas.
Yeah.
All the
just
gas
your
that's getting.
gas,
Yeah,
yeah.
you just fart, shit, and exhale at the same time.
Yep.
And orgasm, you're coming and going.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially if you got rabies.
Oh yeah,
I wonder if that's where that saying comes from. That's the
coming and
lineage of
going
that. Yeah.
from rabies.
From rabies, yeah. No, from dying.
Kill me before I'm coming and going, Pa. Don't go in there, Ma. He's coming and going. You can clean it up later.
Well, let's wrap it up on Mother Teresa's a witch and we just solved an ancient mystery.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
That's
I bet,
this is like our
that's
Making a
some
Murderer
Scooby-Doo
episode.
shit.
We just fucking...
I think so.
We just
Uncovered
unleashed
something.
some
Yeah.
hot...
She would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for us meddling kids.
Yeah. You said it.
You said it.
Bitch. Yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, witches. I like witches. I love a good witch story. There's nothing I believe more in the horror movie realm than a sexy witch. Well, not a sexy witch, because none of them are sexy. But you know what I mean? Like,
I seen a
Just a
sexy
good-
witch movie called The Love Witch.
ooh,
Skylar, I think you and the
Starring-
roommate would be into it.
yeah.
Look up Love
Is
Witch.
Michael Myers in it?
Who? There's nobody in it you
Mike
would know.
Myers?
It's some like indie
Michael
movie
Myers?
from like
Okay.
2 years ago. But it's like shot on like
Called Love
film
Witch?
and like it looks like it was made in the 1970s, but it's from like 2016.
Ooh.
But it's like a sexy witch that's like she like puts curses and stuff on boys to fall in love with her, and then after they fall in love with her, they're like really annoying and don't leave her alone. So then she has to kill them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like a succubus?
No, she's just like the witches we described in this episode. Just like some young modern witch, but falls in love with boys and then makes these spells so they fall in love with her, and then realizes that this guy's kind of annoying. I'm gonna have to kill him and bury him out back. It's good.
Sounds like my roommate.
Yeah. Love witch. Anyway, we're pretty much experts. Please like and subscribe, and when we put up our Ask an Experts posts, Let's hear some random questions.
Yeah, get in on it.
Get in on
Anything,
it.
yeah. If you ever wondered how metal works, ask.
Ask.
Google it.
Just ask.
Google it.
Google it first.
Google it or
then
ask us.
How breathing works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blood flow.
Don't ask about blood.
Yeah, I
No,
know.
I know nothing
Mike's
about
out of the
blood.
question. Yeah, no, it doesn't know how it works.
Yeah.
How do
No,
dressers work?
There's only one rule to this Ask an Expert, and it's don't ask about blood.
Oh, fuck.
No, there's no rules. No rules.
No rules. Ask about blood. We'll get a fun answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
it's like
so
Israel. No rules.
Pretty much experts. We'll see you all next week. Thanks for
See ya.
listening.
Goodbye.
Thanks everybody for tuning in this week. We are Pretty Much Experts. You can check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. While you're at it, go have a look at our Facebook page. You can ask an expert any time of day or night, whatever you like. And if you're into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. We want to hear from you, baby. Thanks again, everybody. Tune in next week. We are Pretty Much Experts, and we love you, I guess.
Just too afraid to go in. My mind got in that